Grady's okay with it too. So.
Hey, Gradey, coming out of, I know you were in Wichita and then spent a few years there, then Sunrise. I don't remember you taking any really official visits anywhere else. Did you know here early? I mean, you might have visited some other schools, but did you know early on that this was going to be the place for you?
I had a great idea of it, just with the the history of my family going through it, my siblings, and just going to games when I was younger. But fortunately for me, like, it was during that COVID time, obviously, where I was getting recruited by my schools that I was interested in, and yeah, fortunately for me, I had most of like my unofficial visits already finished before like they cut everything off for COVID. Then it just turned into Zooms, and then narrowed it down, obviously, Kansas.
And when did you know early on?
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah. Like I said before, it was always top two, I'd say, and then just from like the fanboyish standpoint of like me going to games. But then like once I actually got the background information and guys like CB that already had relationships beforehand, and just seeing the background of everything that goes into the school, I knew it was number one.
Grady, maybe coach has told you this, or maybe you heard him say it yesterday, but he basically told us that it seems good likelihood that you and MJ might be competing for a starting spot. I wondered if you could take us through your relationship with MJ. I know you guys have gotten close. When did that first happen, and how's it been like having him here? And what do you think of when you think of competing with him for a spot? I'm sure you both have roles, but does that add to this bond that you guys are having and developing?
Yeah, for sure. MJ's my guy. I mean, we've actually known each other since, I like to say, maybe 7th or 8th grade. I first met him at this little, it's kind of like a showcase tournament that me and him got invited to in California for this Adidas stuff, and we actually had some pictures from that, which is kind of cool, and kind of led up into us playing against each other on the prep school level, and with him at Oak Hill, and then transitioning to his other school, and just building that relationship over time, and obviously into McDonald's and those camps and everything like that, and the fact that we get to push each other every single day, and actually my roommate, and it's just pretty much 24/7, and I feel like that only helps us that much more, that we can not only push each other, but just other guys on the team, just making each other better.
I don't know if you fully knew then that you were going to have this opportunity. I know it was probably your goal, but his too. But what's that like in 7th, 8th grade to meet a guy like that and him meet you? And I mean, do you guys even think this far ahead about, someday we're going to go to college, maybe we'll play at Kansas, maybe we'll play against each other, whatever it is? I mean, does that stuff even happen in a 7th grader's mind, or not really?
I think for my 7th grade mind, it was just, I'm thinking to the tournaments that summer.
Okay.
In a way where I'm obviously at that time college D1 is my overall goal, to get there, and then hopefully the next level as it just transitions to my age. But yeah, when I'm in the camp with him and just kind of enjoying it in the moment, and then thinking, just like getting his information, getting the social media, and just talking to him about when we play each other next that summer or something like that.
Sure.
Was that note, was that note planned there specifically for you, or was it just for the guy that was in the room, the little note from Ochai?
I had no idea when I was going to the room, but Coach Q, like they said, Coach Q told me he had no idea till like Ochai kind of let him know, and I don't know for sure, but I got in there and he said, check the upper drawer, and checked it, and it was just, like I said earlier, it was an autograph of his head. I was like, yeah, okay, thanks for the autograph, but I turned it over and it was a nice note, and I texted him after that, and he was like, just telling me, you're next, everything like that.
We saw your reaction with your mom, but what was it like? I mean, being there in that moment, what was that like?
Oh, it was extremely special. Just, everything that whole day was just special, of moving into, my dream school, and then to get that on top of that. And I think part of the reason my mom was just so emotional is I'm the 4th kid leaving, so I'm kind of her baby leaving out, and I was the last one. So for her to get emotional, and then that kind of put her over the top, so it's great.
Do you have a favorite all-time Jayhawk?
All time?
Maybe somebody.
I have a couple. Yeah, I have a couple, but one I remember specifically, Wayne Selden. I went in there for it was kind of our team with one of my AU teams when it was probably like 6th, 7th grade, and we got team tickets because Perry Ellis was playing on the players at that time not at the time, but that was his AU team, so we got tickets through him. So yeah, Perry, love him, and got there on the court and took pictures of Wayne Selden. And I remember how special it was. He like commented on one of my pictures when I was little, and then to like meet him and be in his shoes is crazy.
What do you think of the early workouts so far compared to Sunrise? The talent here and everything?
The talent is where I see what's going to benefit me the most, because that's kind of what my high school decision would go to Sunrise, was to go to that next high school level and play against those guys in that competition. and I knew it would be a whole new level because it's just like how basketball just works with different levels, different stages, and yet to go into college, I knew it was just going to be a big change, but I feel like if you go 100%, you can make that much smoother.
How much fun is it to be back with Zach and think about that idea? I mean, I know we've asked him that about you coming in, but what about for you? You know what he can do. He knows what you can do.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. I mean, I've seen him change tremendously and just upgrade his everything. And yeah, from Sunrise, me being his roommate, our roommates, and just being with each other that much, and then to come in here like you said and be back right with him. It's just like we never left.
You didn't need it because you're familiar with this place. You knew the coaches, you knew a lot of the guys. But does it help to have a former teammate like that who's already here and you can kind of go through this with picking his brain and things like that?
It does, but I say like my personality is like I get along with everyone, so right, at least I try to. But coming into this team and just seeing how everyone acts like with each other is like there's no like one person that's separate on this team. Like I've heard from a bunch of guys that just this team is just hitting the ground running, and that's like what our goal was, and Coach Self's goal was after the championship, and to kind of leave where we left off, or they left off, and bring me and the freshmen in to just help as much as we can. So the fact that like we get along already at this early stage, I feel like it's just that much huge.
What do you need to do in terms of weight? Do you have to gain any, and how heavy are you now?
As of right now, we're just doing some small workouts. It's just just staying in shape. I think more of it's just getting the conditioning just up because at the college level we're already doing crazy workouts where it's just 4 and 4 back to back. So it's just getting the conditioning, and the weight's just going to come with it. With Ramsey, one of the best weight coaches in the world. So I feel like just if I stick to his his techniques, everything like that, I'm gonna eventually just upgrade with that.
What do you think of Kevin as a player in person?
Oh, I love Kevin. That's one of I mean, we're all, like I said, we're all close, but that's one of the closest I've been with since I've been here, just with him, because his room's like right across from mine. So, and plus we're the kind of newer guys, but yeah, he's been a great mentor to me because I know he's played at that level last year. So, for sure.
You guys haven't had the most structured scrimmages necessarily, but getting out in that environment, running slow, getting pace. I mean, how have you felt you've handled that?
I think it's been like one of the most beneficial things for me since I've been here, just because obviously we're doing our individual work, which is I'm getting in the gym shooting on my own, but the fact that we're having like those scrimmages and actually going up and down on the field house and just seeing the length of the court and getting up and down, and I think it's just once you start to play and your game just kind of builds with that.
Anything else?
What do you think of Wiggins' performance? Are you following it?
Of course. Yeah, I think he's making his statement for the MVP, so obviously I love Steph, but he's a great background for that.
Gradey, what do you want to work on the most this offseason for your game?
Just kind of the overall game, but just, get myself ready for the D1, physicality. Like I said, get in the weight room, just everything that we're all doing, but obviously I'm gonna try to do a little more and just work my hardest while I'm here.
Will that be the biggest, challenge, I guess, just adjusting to that, the physicality? And I wonder also if you think, we've seen MJ in person a couple of times now.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to have that part down a little bit. He looks pretty fit.
Yeah.
You feel like he's more ready, maybe not than you, but just than your average freshman.
Average freshman, yeah, you've seen him, he's huge. But at the same time, there's so many different facets to the game that, like, I'm not gonna say anyone's better or anything, but
No.
I'm more doing something in this spot of the game,
Mhm.
and then different players are focused on different spots because obviously everyone plays different positions. But I feel like everyone has something to work on, and I just gotta find mine and just keep every day.
What does it mean to get here as Naismith Player of the Year?
Gatorade.
God.
There you go. The drink. But yeah, I'm thankful and everything for that. But in my mind and advice from everyone else, that's just in the past. That's all high school. When I get to college, it's the clean slate. I'm like every other freshman.
Did you know you were going to win that, or was it a surprise?
I was pretty confident in my play over the year, and I wasn't gonna say I knew it the whole year, but once I got to the top couple, I had a good idea.